I want to touch back to the pain. You said this world is hell. From your perspective, why do people have the same patterns of pain in their life?
Karma from a past life, most likely.
Karma? Can you explain to me how you view karma?
If you do bad things, they come back to you. Sometimes, like for instance, if you're a 1 life path, a 5 life path, a 33 life path, maybe you do bad things, they come back to you next lifetime. For you, not that easy. You're an 8, shit boomerangs back to you right away. So as an 8, you got to be very careful because your karma will hit you this life. Other people, karma might come to them next life. But so
you believe we're reincarnated over and over again?
All of them. Like for instance, if you're an 11, 22, or 33, you're an old soul. You've been reincarnated quite a few times in life. I look at the 1 through 9 as kind of like the baby souls, and the 11, 22, and 33 kind of as the souls that pass the missions of the 1 through 9 and then get a right to try it as a master number. And master numbers are much more difficult than anything to do with the single digits. I believe 9 is the first reincarnation. Infant starts with the I, child starts with the I is the 9th letter. So I do believe 9 is the infant of the numerology system. And that would make sense because they're so, dependent on looks. They like shiny things. The way I look at 9s, they like shiny things. And since 9s are so obsessed with looks, that's a good way to get stuck in the matrix forever. A lot of people who are rich, a lot of people who are religious like to cope. Oh, I don't have money, but I have a strong connection to God. You can't take the money with you. You're right. I can't take the money with me. But you going, becoming a bodybuilder or looks maxing, you can't take that shit with you either. So we can go both ways here. At the end of the day, there is no justification, at least in the capitalistic society, to be broke, not be able to benefit your family, help your wife, help your kids, and then say you have a connection to God. You're a joke.
So you believe you start as a 9, and then do you believe it's just 8, 7, 6, 5, or do you think it's just different iterations?
No. I believe the 7 is like the bridge between the master numbers. Because if you look at 11, 11's the baby of the master numbers, goes up 22, 33. So you have the 11, and then you have the 7. And I believe the 7 is the bridge between the normal numbers to the master numbers. And the reason I believe that is if you look at the 7, it has the word Eve in the middle, just like 11. And 7 and 11 are soulmate signs. So that's why you have a store called 7-Eleven all over the world.
What can you tell about a person by the letters in their name?
Usually people who have letters that it's usually the first letter, first vowel I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the whole name. That gematria stuff, again, the people who use that, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's just not that effective. That's not the real code. If it was, you guys would be a lot more successful picking football games because that's all these gematria guys do. They pick football games and they're usually all wrong. I don't want to mention his name, but a guy named Zach, he's like literally can't gamble because his wife will whoop his ass, but yet he's selling you guys all picks like the suckers you are, and then you keep losing and you keep blaming him, but who's the idiot who keeps buying the picks? So it is what it is. As me, I call it the biggest comeback in sports history. You saw the clip, I'm sure. The Cavs, 2016, were down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors, the team that won 73 games that year. And when they were down 3-1, I went on the Cleveland radio station and I basically said, I guarantee they're winning the NBA Finals. That's never happened in history, but it happened. And that's the thing. I believe in numerology so much, I made a bet that if I was wrong, people would be bringing up that clip every single day. I never would have made it. I bet it all on the line on something that never happened before, and that's how I made it big in Cleveland after 2016. So I believe in what I do. My life is based off numerology and astrology, and I made it extremely successful because I followed the numbers. Does that mean I worship the numbers? What are you, out your fucking mind? Who worships numbers? They're a tool to use. You understand? It's a tool that the prime creator, what you guys call God, left us to use. And there's a lot of guys who are Christians, and they'll be like, yeah, numerology and astrology is real, but we're not supposed to use it. What? How does that work? So you have a car, but you're not supposed to use it because you could get in an accident. That's just a stupid way of thinking of things. So you have to look at it this way. If the Christians and the Muslims truly believe in what they say, the divination is all bad, why are you looking at the Weather Channel? How many times are you about to go somewhere? Oh, how's the weather going to be in this location? How should I dress? That's divination. You're trying to figure out the future. So why is that okay? And what I'm doing is not, unless Nick Fuentes wants to tell me that the Weather Channel is satanic too. This is comedy. This is pure comedy. And again, when you look at it, you understand why people are in the positions they are. 4 of the most banned people on social media, tell me if you agree. Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, not so much anymore. Thank you, President Trump. And again, most of these guys are going to say, praise Allah, I got my YouTube back. Praise Christ. If that's the case, how come that you didn't get it back during the Biden administration? How about praise Donald J. Trump for actually putting pressure on Google and getting them to basically start censoring a lot less? These are facts. I mean, I only started going YouTube live this year because Donald Trump was president. If he wasn't president, I'd probably be in Saudi Arabia right now.
I might have missed this, but explain the letters to me. I think that's the last part we're missing of the system itself.
I believe that there was a couple beta languages to test things, and I believe that English is the final masterpiece creation. I believe they started using the Greek language as a beta test form of using numerology and astrology within the language. I believe the second form they perfected it in was Hebrew. And I think the final perfected form is English. So if you look at Greek and Hebrew, first 2 vowels, E. But they're in the second position. Where English, the final version, the E is in the last position. And let's not talk about evolution. Evolution starts with the E. So anything with E would be most likely to change the most. If someone's a 5 life path, they usually start off being like some kind of liberal, and then they go straight to being a straight conservative. People who are 5s evolve the most throughout their lives. And again, we talked about this in the very beginning. 5 is one number that's open on both sides. So they go through the most amount of change, which would make sense why evolution starts with E.
So for, I guess, Jack Neal, let's say, would you look at the J? Would you look at the N?
I would look at the J and the A. I would look at the J being the first letter and A being the first vowel. J is the 10th letter. Jack is a 1. So that would, even though you don't seem like you're too argumentative, you definitely are. People who have that A energy tend to be argumentative. I'll give you an example. 1 is the number of the lawyer. First vowel in lawyer, A. First vowel in attorney, A. They argue A, the law, A. Boom, 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 boom.
So it's 2 1s, the J and the A?
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Interesting. And then what happens if someone, will it change your life if you have a nickname? Like your life path a little bit?
The vibration of energy that comes out will change it. There's no doubt about it. Like, give me a famous person with a nickname.
GG33.
GG33, that's basically by name.
Andrew Tate goes by Cobra, let's say.
Cobra. Well, that's interesting. If you look at his, Andrew says he's not into numerology, even though I told him he'd be famous in 2022 on a phone call in 2018. He won't admit it, but I can put up receipts that we actually had that phone call. I'm the one guy he's scared to say anything about because I actually have receipts. So he won't blood my name anymore like he used to attack me all the time before he got famous. But if you look at Andrew Tate, he does use the number 8. Tate, 8. So that's the why he does it. But if you look at a lot of people with famous nicknames, it can change the energy of that person. Like Mr. Beast. If you look at the Mr. Beast logo, the colors are the same exact colors as the transgender flag. So again, Mr. Beast has the same colors in his logo as the transgender flag, and his name is Mr. Beast. And who's that co-star he had? Was a trans?
Chris.
Yeah. Interesting how that works. I refuse to believe that a guy with no charisma like him made it big. That's a manufacturer plant right there. There's no chance in hell he made it. Listen, I don't like Nick Fuentes, but he's a very charismatic person. He has great monologue skills. I respect that. Andrew Tate, another piece of shit. He's literally a glorified pimp. But some of the best monologues in the game. He is a good talker. Tim Pool, no matter what people say about him, great talker. Candace Owens, great talker. So you can say a lot of things about the people I don't like in this game. And I'm not saying I don't like all of those guys, but I respect them for being the best of what they do. See, that is the difference between a man and a woman. When a man doesn't like you, he can still respect you. If a woman doesn't like you, she doesn't like you the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, everything. That is the main difference between the two sexes. I can hate people and still respect them. If a woman hates somebody, there's no respect. She hates you. And again, that's the difference there. But when I look at Mr. Beast, that's a plant. Someone with 0 ounces of charisma like him would never have made it big without help. He signed a deal with somebody. And that's why his name is Mr. Beast.